Hi guys, welcome back. So let's determine the groups, the periods and blocks of elements in the periodic table. So let's see how we can determine what group, what period and what block an atom belongs, or an element, an atom of an element, or the element itself belongs in the periodic table. Now imagine you are in your examination oral and you were asked to determine the group, period and block of the following elements. Element 1 is element X with an atomic number of, okay, let's use 11. Element Y, I'm sorry. Number 1 is element X with atomic number of 11. 2 is element Y with an atomic number of 20. 3 is element Z with atomic number of 16. 4 is element W with an atomic number of 7. And 5 is, okay, let's say that atomic number P with atomic number of 22. Right? And finally, we have let's add one more. Elements, how do we put it now? Okay, let's put it here. Element Q, right? With an atomic number of 5. So guys, we're asked to determine the groups, period, and blocks of these elements. If we solve the first two, I'm pretty sure you'd be able to solve the rest of them. So let's see. Let's start from the first. Now, remember that to determine the group of an element, what do you need to know? The number of outermost electrons. So what we need to do is give the electronic configuration of all these atoms. If you've given the electronic configuration of these atoms, you can tell their group, their period, and their block. So to the first atom, atom X, how many electrons are present in X? 11 electrons, because it's a neutral atom. They are all neutral atoms. So here you have the electronic configuration to 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, right? And 3s1. This has been discussed in electronic configuration under atomic structure. So that's the electronic configuration. Now, what is the number of outermost electrons that this atom X has? It has one outermost electron. And how do you know that? This one here means it's on the first energy level or first shell. This means it's on the second shell. This means it's on the third shell. So it means the outermost shell of that atom is 3. And there is 1 electron on it. Now, let's explain it this way. X has 11 electrons. This is the first 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And finally, 11. So this means that 1s2, it means that on the first shell, there are just, okay, let me remove this. It means that on the first shell, there are just, on the first shell, there are just 2 electrons, which are 1 and 2. 2s2, 2p6, means on the second shell, there is a total of 2 and 6 electrons, making 8. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And on the third shell, there's just 1 electron, which is this. And how do you know the group an element belongs? By its number of outermost electrons. So what is the number of outermost electrons here? 1. That means the most exterior electron, there's just one of it, right? So it means element X here belongs to group 1. What is its period? The period is the maximum number you have before the suborbital. You can call it the principal. So what is the principal here? The principal is 1, 2, and 3, which is the maximum. 3 is the maximum. So it means it belongs to group 3. And to period 3, sorry. Remember what we said periods are? That element period is determined by the number of electronic shells, the number of shells you have. So the number of shells you have tells you your period. How many shells are present here? 1, 2, and 3. So it means this belongs to period 3. It makes sense, doesn't it? And then what about the block? the block of element X. Element X here is an S block element. Why? Because we said that the block of an element is a suborbital where the final electron, or you say the most exterior electron of the atom falls. So where is the most exterior electron of this atom? It is on the S block. So it means that this is an S block element, and that's how you determine the group, period, and block of an element. You give the electronic configuration, and from the electronic configuration you can determine all you need. Let's do for Y. Y has atomic number of 20. 20. That's number 2. Y 20. What is the electronic configuration of this? 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, right? And 4s2. When you add up all the indices, it totals 20. So now, how do we determine the group of element Y? The group of element Y is 2. Why? Because the most maximum number here is 4, and 4 has 2 electrons on it. The previous one, the maximum value was 3. That's why we took the value on 3. You are taking the value on the maximum atom. That's what you're doing. So the maximum principal here is 4, right? And then it means it belongs to group 2 because there are just 2 electrons on that value. Usually the last value. Usually, not always. Then the period. What is the period? The period is the largest principal. And what is the largest principal? It's 4. So when you draw the shells, like we did in red, up on the screen, if you do the same thing, you would see that we are getting similar answers. And what about the block? The last electron falls on S, meaning it is also an S block element. Right. What is the third one? The third one is Z. Right? Z has an atomic number of 16. So here we have Z with an atomic number of 16. What is its electronic configuration? 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, right? Then this is 3p4. Does that make up to 16? Yes. That's 16. So the first one is, what is the group here? What is the rule? You go to the largest number. So what is the largest principal here? The largest principal is 3, but it appears twice. So it means the group here is the power of the largest principal. That is 2 plus 4. And that gives us 6. So it's a group 6 element. Look at this. For this, the largest number here was 3. And it was the only one present, right? So we didn't need to add to anything. The same thing here. The largest number here was 4. And it was the only one there. So we didn't need to add it. But here we have 2 large numbers, which means that 3 appears twice. So you total their indices to get the group of the element. So it belongs to group 6. What about the period? What is the largest number? 3. So it means it belongs to group 3. You don't add that. You just pick one of it, right? And then what about the block? What is the last suborbital there? It's P. So it is a P block element. So if we take the structure of that, we'll have it to be 16, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. So you can see there are just 3 shells, which tells us it belongs to group period 3. On the outermost electrons, the number of outermost electrons, there are 6 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And the number of outermost electrons tells you the group an element belongs. And what about the block? It is a P block element because the last electrons falls on P. I should be able to leave you to do the rest, but let's take the rest of them together. But I would recommend that you pause the video, answer the next question, and continue to see what we got. So here we have W with an atomic number of 7. So let's see, W with an atomic number of 7. That's number 4, I think. W has an atomic number of 7. Taking the electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s2, and 2p3. That gives us a total of 7. Means the indices now. What is the group? The principal here, we have 2 and 2, which means we would need to add up their powers. That's group 5. What is the period? The period is period 2 because 2 is the most maximum numbers here, so that's it in red. And what is the block? It's also a p block element, as you can see it, because the final electrons fall on the p orbital. I think the next question, let's see, we have p with atomic number of 22. So p here has an atomic number of 22. What is the electronic configuration for p? It is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, right? 3d2, 4s2. What did we do here? I know you must have noticed something for the very smart ones amongst you, that the 4s2 should come before the 3d2. But for the purpose of this, we arrange it this way so that we don't get confused, right? So that we do not get confused. Now, even if at all you arrange it as 4s2 then 3d2, they would still be correct. Okay, so what is the group of this atom? It is a group 2 atom. Why? Because what is the most maximum number here? The most maximum number here is 4, right? Which tells you that the power on 4 is the group of the elements. What is the period? The period is period 4 because 4 is the most maximum number there. And what is the block? This is where the problem is. You don't say it's an S block element, right? This element actually is a D block element. Because the normal arrangement, you should have 4s2 before 3d2. Which means that the D orbital, it tells us that this is not, this does not fall into the A group of the periodic table. Instead, it falls into the B group of the periodic table because it's more than 20. And the fact that we have a D orbital as its penultimate orbital, which means that the fact that we have a D orbital as a second to the last, right, then we go for that as the block of the atom. If you had something like this, right, 4s2 and say 4p something, for example, you don't go for D again because it's no longer the penultimate orbital. But in this case, because it is the second to the last, that's why we are using block D as our block. If it is not the second to the last, if it is somewhere behind, somewhere here, then you don't choose it as the block, right? But if it is the second to the last, or even the last, then you take it as the block. But every other thing, you go for the one before it. I hope you get the gist. Okay. And then finally, let's say, we still have more. Finally, Q. Q has atomic number of 5. So let's see. Q has an atomic number of 5. This is 1s2, 2s2, 2p1, right? What is the group of these elements? Because you have 2 repeating twice, it means the group of the elements is 2 plus 1. You add up their indices, and that is group 3, right? What is the period of these elements? It's period 2, because 2 is the most maximum number there. And what is the block of these elements? It is a p block element. That is quite direct. Okay, let me add one more, so in case you didn't understand what we did in number 5. We can take it again. Let's add one more. So the electronic configuration of, let's say the atom here is A, is 27. How do we take the electronic configuration here? This is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, Abi, 3d7, and 4s2. So you would understand what we did on electric. Please go back to our video on electronic configuration and atomic structure to understand this. Now, what is the group here? It is a group 2 elements, right? You can see it. But it is not a 2A element. It is a 2B element, as it is saying here. What is the period? The period of these elements is period 4, because 4 is the most maximum suborbital there. What is the block? It is a D block element. Why? Because D is the penultimate orbital there. And this applies to only D. If it is not D, you don't consider that. It applies to only D. And you can see it belongs to group 2. If you put it as 2B, you're correct. If you leave it as only 2, so far you specify it is a D block element, the examiner knows it is not an amongst the A group. It is a B group element. Now, if you do not understand what we mean by A and B groups, you would understand as we move on with the periodic table. Don't forget, we are just getting started. All right, so you would understand as we move on in the periodic table. But just note that the B group of the periodic table actually applies to the transition metals. If you look at the periodic table, in between groups 2 and groups 3A of the periodic table, you will see an arrangement of atoms. It starts from scandium. You have scandium, titanium, vanadium, and it goes that way. So that group, that small box you have, is the transition element, and that's what the D block applies to. That's what your 1B, 2B, whatever B applies to. It just tells you that what you are considering are the transition elements that are sandwiched between the group 2 and groups 2 and 3 of the periodic table. And that's how to determine the groups, the period, and the block of an element. Now, with the next lecture, we'll start a new series on groups. We'll start from groups 1, we'll run it all through to group 0. We'll talk about the transition elements, we'll talk about the lanthanides and the actinides. It is something you don't want to miss. So please join our next video when we start a new series on the groups of the periodic table. Thank you for sticking with us, and we shall see you in the next lecture.